I went to Subway and I got, okay, my sub order, best order in my opinion. What have I been thinking about like recently? Recently, I have been thinking about my existence, and I'm so attached to an idea of like my future, as well as it being a part of me now, but also realizing that we are nobody and nothing, and we're not meant to be anything. We're just meant to exist and be happy. Like, not even just be happy, just like sit with our feelings, sit with our thoughts, and be an observer and be the being experiencing life. Like, I'm at the place where it's like, okay, I think it's finding a balance. I'm at a place where it's like, I have two conflicting opinions. One is, do I go for all my goals and just be intense and push forward? Or do I just accept my reality and not try to be anything and just exist? But I think it's easy to integrate them. Like, I'm acting like this is some crazy, like, oh my god, which one? Like, I don't need to pick anything. That's the thing with being human. It's like, we don't need to pick anything. We can just change. We can have moments where we want to be following our goals, and we can have moments of clarity and stillness and nothingness where we just exist and allow ourselves to exist. We don't need to be one or the other, unless you want to be, but there's no pressure to be anything. And if there is, it's from somebody else who, like, the world has just told you this narrative that may not apply to you. And don't follow a narrative that's not even your book. Like, what's the point? It's like, you wouldn't go to Harry Potter. Oh yeah, Harry Potter. What am I saying? Just go for your own book. Like, make your own story. Don't allow other people to take autonomy from you. Oh, there are Cairns High students. There are people from my old school. I'm gonna just keep my cap on, look down, and eat my food. Why do I even care? Perception, interesting thing. I go make your own narrative and say all of that, but then I sit here and I feel uncomfortable that there are people from my old school. It's okay if they look at me. I'll just probably smile. And I can just not look at them and focus on my sandwich. But it doesn't dictate me. That doesn't dictate me. And now they're gone, and it's like, why did I have that moment? So you're seeing it in the flesh. The thing is, you can have those feelings and have those discomforts and have those caring about what other people think. It's 11:11 right now. You can have those moments of caring about what people think, but as long as that's okay to have that sometimes, but as long as you can internalize and be like, or not so much internalize it, but reflect on it and be like, hey, I did this, wonder why I did this. You're helping yourself out in so many ways. Because then you realize you're caring about things that you should not care about. And you're putting energy in other places where you could put that energy into passion. Anyway, I love Subway. This is not a promotional video, but I'm literally like matching. Maybe because I was wearing these colors, like subconsciously, I'm like, advertisement. Oh my god, don't get me started on advertisements. I flippin' hate advertisements. You know what I find so interesting? We used to pay for advertisements. Like, we used to go around and buy magazines to see the newest fashion and all this and see advertisements. Now we pay to not have advertisements, like Netflix when you pay for like the premium version, and then Spotify Premium, YouTube Premium, to not have advertisements. Man, I've said this to somebody before, but I literally want to buy a small town or live in a small town with no advertisements for like a year, or own a small town and make it illegal. Is that a dictatorship? Who cares? Sometimes a little bit of dictatorship isn't a bad thing. I'm gonna shut up now. I don't believe that. I don't actually know what I believe. I don't know enough about politics or anything. Actually, I don't know anything. I genuinely don't know a lot. I don't know anything. Like, there's so much I want to learn. There's so much I don't know and so much I want to know. I love talking to myself. La 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 la. Sometimes I wonder, like, if I'll ever be able to be married, because I'm genuinely kind of gross. Like, I'm not that gross, but by myself, I'm gross. Like, when I'm around people, I'm fine, but by myself, I'm gross. But if I have a certain food, I'll be, like, scooping it up. There'll be food running down my mouth. Like, and there's other things which I'm not sharing on the internet, but I'm pretty gross. And I think about that, and also, I love my own company so much, so it's like, the idea of having somebody every night sleeping in my bed, like, we're all just okay with that. After spending, like, your whole life not, or maybe you share with your, like, siblings, that's cool, like, everybody's situation is different, but, like, if you didn't, and you've always slept alone, and suddenly there's a human in your bed, and, like, I'm gross, and I mean it, it's like, but if there's another person, I'd probably be more inclined to do, I don't change my sheets, like, I changed my sheets, like, this week, and the last, I don't even remember the last time. I'm gonna just say that, and you can make whatever assumption you want from that. But I don't remember. I literally do not recall. Oh, yeah, but I'm gross. Like, I'm just kind of gross. But if I had a person to help me make my bed, like, that's easy. I think it's like, because it's just like a hassle, and I've got a big bed, and my bed takes up almost all of my room, so I've got to, like, squeeze in between things. Not fun. If I had a smaller bed, would I be different? No. But it's a good excuse. I don't know, it's just strange, like, the idea of marriage is just, like, constantly being with somebody, like, what? Maybe it's because during my childhood, I grew up so much alone, like, I was by myself a huge majority of the time. So now I'm like, person in my space? That's crazy. That is crazy. I think we need to have separate houses, like, genuinely, and just have, like, sleepovers. Like, maybe we live on, I feel like I need a little bit of distance. Like, I don't want to do long distance, but I've done that twice. Did not work out. Both the relationships. What the heck was that? Both the relationships. Yeah, that didn't work out. I don't think it was a long distance part. It was insecurity on different paths for what was I saying? Yeah, I don't think I could live with, like, my man. Maybe I just haven't really been in love, or maybe I just know myself really well, or maybe I don't want to get out of my comfort zone, or maybe we have been fed in this society that we need to be constantly given attention to be loved, and because in this capitalist society, to show that you're giving love, you're constantly giving or taking and giving, when in reality we don't really need that, and we all have individual needs when it comes to relationships, and we've been fed nonsense of what the meaning of love is from the moment we were born, and we've actually been given a conditional sense of what love actually is, and we're all searching externally for what we believe is love, when in reality the only way we can fully experience love is if we experience it with ourselves first, as well as social media distorting the view of love and what it means to be accepted. Oh my god, I did so much crazy shit in my first relationship because I was like, okay, I'm a little girl, I don't really know what to do. Social media tells me if he doesn't do this, he doesn't love me. Must be true. I'm so sorry to that person. Apologies, sir. But seriously, like, we're just given very, I don't even know, it's just, man, I love Subway. This person, and they told me that people find it weird when they eat and moan. Like, isn't that, if I make you a meal, like anybody a meal, and you're not moaning when you eat it, you fucking hate me. You don't like me. You don't like me. you need to be sitting there moaning for me to be like. Also, if I make you a meal, you need to be going, this is delicious. This is the best thing I've ever eaten. Like anybody, friends, family, I've sat there in the kitchen. Stood there in the kitchen, pouring my heart into it. Why am I yelling like that? I need this. I'm such a conflicting person. I say things and then my words conflict myself, and then I'm aware of me conflicting myself. It's like, don't weigh on people's opinions and thoughts. But when it comes to food though, for me, I think it's because it's a way that I show my one, I don't want to say love, but like my care, like I care about you. 2, my abilities. And I feel like there should be a 3rd just because normally there's 3, so I guess my abilities again. Like it's just like, it's something that I've practiced. It's something that I've perfected. I've put the time in. Like it's not my first time cooking it. Like I want it. It's gotten better. I was like 12 making like pastries and like savory pastries. I don't really like sweets, says me who just bought a cookie. So maybe that's because I couldn't eat a lot of sweets growing up. So all finished. My head's kind of hurting. We're gonna remove the hat. Headline reveal. Oh my god. You can literally see the indent on my forehead. Time for the cookie. Right here. Go get your dream. Go get it. You know why? Because somebody's gonna go out there and get it. So why not it be you? If somebody's gonna go out there and get the thing you desire, why can it not be just like, why can you just not do it? Like, why don't you just do it? If somebody's going to do it, why not it be you? That does not sound like English, but you know what I'm saying. Never get people who are like, oh, it's just too hard, and then go to fucking university. Like, what? You're telling me your dream is hard, but you're gonna go study, spend potentially like $100,000, from like $10,000 to $100,000, and spend some of your most motivated like years. Actually, I don't know if they'd say it's the most motivated, but you're gonna spend all those years and not chase your dream, but you're gonna study. Like, studying is hard. Like, let's be real. Studying is really fucking hard, especially if you want to do well. And so why not just go achieve your goal? If that is to study, that's awesome. That's really cool. It's a more socially acceptable thing to do. So, but if you have a goal that's a little more niche and takes hard work, go do it. Especially if you're gonna go to uni. I don't know who needs to hear this, but just do it. Subway cookies, oh god. I'm so conflicted with swearing. This might sound really strange, but I think it's because I care about the opinions of my friends' moms. And I don't want to offend them, so I'm sorry if you're a friend of mine's mother's. I do swear a little bit. Yet I live in Australia, but still. It's my way of showing passion. And sometimes I go through phases where the worst thing ever for me is to swear. Sometimes I just let it out. You know what's crazy? Like, I used to not let myself eat sugar. I used to say it was like a discipline thing, but I think it was like sort of a, I don't want to say self-hatred because it wasn't like that. Like, it wasn't intentional or conscious, but it was like, I felt like I needed to prove myself. Like, secretly to everybody. Even if nobody knew about it. It was like I was proving myself to other people. But now I just prove myself, you know? Maybe I might not do it perfectly, but getting better. Man, I've gotten so much better at communicating. What do they put in Subway cookies to make them so thin yet so soft, but not like salmonella soft? I kind of want to get another one. Anyway, do something for yourself today. I'm gonna turn this off very soon, but do that thing that you've been thinking about. That might take 5 minutes, might take an hour, but you've been thinking about it and you know that right now you're sitting down somewhere and you're watching this video. Go do that thing. Go do that thing. Because you're gonna feel so good and that's gonna put you in the right direction. What that direction is, I don't know, but you know, and a part of you knows. And like, even if you don't know, a part of you knows, just go and do it. Help yourself. Help your future self. Oh, I love when my past self helps me. It is so grateful for her, so grateful for future self, so grateful for present me. Yum. Have a beautiful day or evening. I hope you feel okay. Like, I hope you're feeling good, you know? I hope at least you're okay with being here. And just know you're cared about. And like, some people are like, nobody cares about me. And you might think that, but there are people who just see you, like when you walk down the street, and they think something of you. And it might not be like enthralling love or something, but it's definitely care, you know? And if they don't, well, maybe I do. And if you don't leave your house and you're stuck in your room, there might be a little spider somewhere in your room, or a little ant, and I'm sure they care about you. And oh my god, I hear some of the most self-deprivating things from men about themselves. It's just like, girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, they'll say shit like, oh, I'm nobody, I'm nothing. It's like, that is good in the way of letting go of all like material feelings, but when you actually think it in a way of worthlessness, it's just, you are worthy. It's like, and you don't need to wait for somebody else to tell you that. Just know that within yourself. And it's just like, who has told you that? Who has told you that? Who is telling you these things? Because for one, they're not true. And if they are true, then do something about it, rather than sitting there in this like pit of shame, this pit of just negativity and sadness and self-pity. Like, just step out of it. Nobody's making you stay there. And if somebody is making you stay there, get the hell out. Leave that person. Not even in like a romantic way. Just get out of their energy. Get out of their space. You are only there because you choose to be there. And I think you're aware of that too. And that makes it easier to pity yourself more. But it's like, no, don't do that. Because the only person who's going to be there for you is you. And if you can't even talk, not even nicely, but just like, if you can't even be there for yourself in a kind way, it's like, nobody's going to be able to give you that. Because in the end, you're not going to believe it, and it's going to be worth nothing. And the people who do give it, they're so beautiful. They're beautiful people in the world, and they deserve to know that the feelings that they put out are at least cared about. And the thing with those people, they probably give it without expectation. So they're not expecting you to take it in, but it's such a beautiful thing when you're able to. I don't have anything else to say. Have a good day. Bye.